Good morning, all you beautiful, amazing, spectacular tea people, or afternoon, or night, or evening, or wherever in the world you happen to be. I hope you are getting what you can see is behind me right here. I really hope you're getting that beautifulness. We are in springtime. Just double checking to make sure that the sound is going there. So we are in springtime here on the beautiful east coast of Taiwan, and you can see those mountains behind me. One of the main reasons why I live here. We haven't had, knock on wood, an earthquake or a typhoon for the past 6 months. So I am quite looking forward to the springtime, getting back up into those mountains, going swimming, river tracing, and doing all the things that I do. And the reason why I live here, basically, the reason why I live here. Anyways, today, all I'm doing is I'm jumping in. We're going to do just a really quick live stream, nothing special. Just sort of talking about what's going on because I feel bad if I don't do a live stream once a week. One of the secrets of, I don't know if people have figured this out by now. I'm always amazed that people actually will. Wow, that smells so good. The snow mist oolong this year is amazing. I'm always amazed that people actually sort of watch these things or pay attention. But one of the things that happens is that when I have a lot of orders, when people are supporting us really well, and I get really busy, then I can't do a lot of live streams or putting stuff out there because we're basically a 1.5 person show. So when you make an order, I pack it. My wife sometimes helps me pack up tea and things like that. But basically, it's just me. So we got the Snow Mist teas released this weekend, and it was like having a big sale. It was. It's been busy this week. I am very tired. If you order anything as of right now, it's being shipped on Monday. If you've ordered to basically the start of this live stream, well, thank you. I appreciate it greatly that you like it and that you support us. If you order after this live stream, it's not going out till Monday. I apologize. Hey, how's it going? Hello from Hualien in Taiwan here. And so it's been a busy week, and so I haven't been doing a lot of live streams and putting content out or anything like that, and that's kind of why. But anybody who has bought the Snow Mist teas, you're not going to be disappointed this year in the oolong. Now the black tea is also really good, but you can probably wait. If you got some of the black tea, you can try it now. I'd say wait for another like months and months. The longer you wait, the better that is gonna be. Hey man, how's it going? So the longer you wait, the better it's gonna taste. The white tea, same thing, but it's great now. It's Snow Mist white tea. I mean, it's like the best you can get for white teas in Taiwan. But what's really interesting about the Snow Mist is sometimes the oolong is spectacular, like the best oolong you've ever had in your life, and sometimes it's like, oh, that's okay. This year it's spectacular. This year it's absolutely spectacular. Buttery, grassy. You can taste like, someday I'll start doing tea trips again, and I got to take everybody up to this place because once you've been up there and then you actually sample the tea, you can literally taste the mountain, the soil, the pine trees, the everything that's going on with this tea. With this, like when it's good, especially with this one, you just taste it. And so I was going to jump into a quick live stream, and I had to choose a tea to drink, and I'm like, yay! It's my excuse to drink some more of the 2025 Snow Mist oolong. So what's going on this next couple weeks? So right now up on Pear Mountain, they are picking they're picking all the high mountain teas, the super high mountain teas. They're picking the high mountain teas. The Alishan teas, I've got some on the way. I've already bought a huge amount of the Mayor's Alishan, And so I've got this huge amount because this year is amazing, right? So anyways, this year's springtime teas, the lower elevations are, good. They're nothing too special. They're normal. Uh, the Alishan teas are looking like they're just going to be spectacular, like just the best of the best of the best. And then the higher elevation teas, well, you can see right there, you can see behind me, they're getting picked up there right now, like literally right now, they're getting picked. Now you can't see it from here, but if we were in, say, Alberta or on the Great Plains, and you were like in Alberta and it's a clear day and you could see that's about how far away they are. So as the crow flies, about 150 kilometers, but literally right there, like I'm on a line, like I'm on the Tropic of Cancer right here, basically. And so it's just this line, 10 kilometers on either side of it. That's where all the tea gets picked, right along that line. Well, maybe not, maybe 50 kilometers. No, let's say 100 kilometers on either side of that. I actually should do a little thing, like a little test, because that's pretty fascinating, right? Because anyways, Reishui is where I go get all the honey fragrance teas and all that stuff. That's right on the Tropic of Cancer, and then you go across, and that's Alishan, and so Pear Mountains north of that. And anyways, whatever. Point is, Tropic of Cancer, much closer than most of the people who get to drink the teas. Let's put it that way, to the Tropic of Cancer. And this year has been spectacular. Now, I've already got a line into, I've just been talking to them. The people have been asking me already about Baozong. And, okay, I'll go on a quick rant. Baozong is one of the hardest teas for me to get because most of the time when it comes to the Baozong teas and the teas, again, what is Baozong? Baozong are the teas from Pingling area, just sort of south of Taipei. It's an area that has quite a large market, and the taste point for the Baozong teas are a lightly oxidized, beautiful, flowing, greenish oolong. And there is a huge market for it, sort of in the greater Taipei area. And so those teas are, there is like a taste point, and they have a market that is sort of older Taiwanese gentlemen. That's sort of their market, and ladies. And that generation, if you didn't put chemical fertilizers and spray the crap out of it and make sure each leaf was perfect with no bug bites, they would be like, what is this? This is dirty. I don't like this, blah, 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 blah. So the market for Baozong and how they make Baozong, the vast majority of it is not something that I can stomach. It's beautiful in the upfront, the mid-mouth sort of peters away, and then the aftertaste is literal chemicals. If you can taste the chemicals, then it's literal chemicals. So I have a really hard time getting Baozong, sourcing Baozong. And so what I get is Old Master Baozong. And I also get tea from a place called Shan, which is a Buddhist monastery. So up in Pingling, up in the mountains there is this one section that's all organic. And it's just this one area of the mountain. And that's where I get the Baozong teas, is just from that area. And so they take their time, and they're not doing it to make money, right? Like, so for example, the Old Master Baozong is my buddy Wang Yoli. And he's I guess he's in his 70s now. And 70s, maybe. Anyways, he pushing 70. And they only make like one big batch of tea a year. And so they're going to sell out. They know they're going to sell out. There's going to be none of that tea left as soon as they start selling it. And so usually I can only get about 2 kilograms a year, but they're in no hurry, right? They're like, when it finishes, it finishes, like we know we're going to be selling it. So I've got my calls in, I've got the tea ready to go. I know I'm going to get the teas in these various areas. I know I'm going to do it. And because I know I'm going to get the teas in these various areas, the Baozong teas are not ready yet, but hopefully by the end of the month. Here's a good question. Snow Mist versus Pear Mountain. What is different about their taste? The best way to think about the difference between Pear Mountain and the Snow Mist is the Pear Mountain is more refined, more developed, more machiney. There's more steps. There's more, like up on Pear Mountain, there's like a big old, like, there's a factory. And when I say factory, I mean like factory. Right now, they make tea, and it's not dirty. They're not, doing plastic molding or something like that, but it's a factory. Whereas with the snow mist stuff, it's very different in the sense that there is less processing, I guess you could say. They take about the same amount of time, but the leaves on the sort of the Pear Mountain area, the Pear Mountain stuff is processed more. Think about it in the sense of the ball rolling sort of machine and that type of stuff. So you got the ball rolling machine, and it comes out in the little balls. Whereas the Pear Mountain stuff is all loose and less done out. So what does that mean? That means that the snow mist stuff has to be of insanely high quality. So the snow mist stuff has to be just the best of the best, because it's like naked. It's like, white teas or various things like that. It's like that, right? It's like white tea. You cannot make a white tea with bad leaves. You can't do it. I mean, you can. It tastes like crap. I've tried. I've tried. So what you get is the Pear Mountain material is just that I've come across, unless it's forest grown, blah blah blah. Anything that's actually taken care of by humans, it is by far the best material I've ever come across in Taiwan. By far. And so what that means is they do a lot less processing. Now, that doesn't mean to say that the leaves on Pear Mountain are somehow less. Well, they are sort of, I would say, objectively lower quality, but they're at a much higher elevation. So Pear Mountain, the Pear Mountain's at like 2,000 meters, and then the other one is the La La Shan. There is like 1,200 to 400, sort of like that. And so what you're getting there is you're getting less of a high mountain taste, whereas the Pear Mountain has more of the high mountain taste. Another way to think about it is most of the times you're getting teas from the Pear Mountain area, they're going to have a very distinct, high quality taste that goes through. Whereas every time they make a tea up on La La Shan, the variations from year to year are much more dramatic. They're much more dramatic, because the variations from year to year up there depend much more on the terroir, the weather, the mood of the pickers. I tell this story. I've told it before, but last October, because La La Shan is such a pain to get up to, I very rarely go up and see my buddy up there. But I saw him at the tea show in October, and he gave me their wintertime tea that was picked in sort of October, November, and it was one of the most fascinating teas I've ever had, because I could taste the mood of the plant. So what had happened was that they got hit pretty hard by the typhoons. And so there's a couple trees that came down, and the tea trees themselves were shook really badly. And to taste the tea, and remember, I've been drinking this tea for years and years. I know the terroir, I know these tea trees, I know the tea that they produce really, really well. But it was fascinating because the up front of the tea was really nice, but then the back end sort of just withered away. And it wasn't something that I'd experienced before from the tea up there. And it really was, like the tea plants, the way I saw it anyways, was that the tea plants had been shaken around. So the up front, they were like, we're fine. Don't worry about us. We're okay. And then in the background, they're turning away crying, like that's sort of, like I could imagine the tears of the tea plant in the sense of being beaten up by the typhoons and various things. And so you don't really get that for the higher elevation teas, the Pear Mountain teas. You can get that from higher elevation teas, but they're extremely rare. And so, the question is, what's the big difference between the snow mist and the Pear Mountain? Consistency, the production, how they're made, things like that. So another example would be when you're getting a Pear Mountain, when it's done by my buddy up there, you're getting a really beautiful, consistent tea, year in, year out, very consistent, beautiful tea all the way through. Whereas here, they change up the processing a lot as well. They'll do various things for making the tea a little bit different. Like each pen, like each when they're putting the tea on the trays, each tray is going to have a slightly different taste because when it was picked in the day, again, the mood of the pickers, the mood of the people processing. Whereas it's much more because the scale is much bigger up on in Pear Mountain and these types of areas. This like really big scale, huge scale of things that are going on up there. The taste is much more consistent throughout. They do things to make sure it's more consistent throughout. And anyways, I'm sure they're just like screaming about mating, but the birds are so happy and excited this time of the year. It's just they're just so happy. They're probably doing the equivalent of like driving around in Honda Civics with a fart pipe on the back. But to us, it sounds beautiful. You know, it's beautiful. They're like, look at my gold chain, look at my gold chain, you know, things like that. But to us, it's beautiful. I love this time of year. And as you can see, this is like my back porch, right? You can see out the out the window there. You can see the in the I guess you can see on YouTube, you can see it a little bit better, but the dappled, you know. One of the things I do with these live streams, it's kind of funny, is I'll actually like go and take the line at the bottom, the scroll line at the bottom, and go like this really fast, so you can actually see what the clouds do as I'm drinking tea. And I'm like, but then you can see like the shadows over the mountains and what the clouds are doing. Anyways, you should try it out. If you're listening to this right now, try it out right now. If you're listening to it later, it's really fun. It's really fun. Anyways, but that's a good question, and obviously a very deep answer. But you know, I take this stuff very seriously, and this is one of those things where these places, I know these people, I know them, and I know their strengths and weaknesses really well, and it's why I love doing what I do. And I'm very appreciative to everybody who supports my family and I and my friends who make the tea to be able to do this, to be able to, you know, talk about something like that as I'm talking to my phone and my computer on my back porch while drinking, you know, how can you even imagine teas like this exist when you grew up in sort of the Western world? It's just so hard to, you know, it's not even imaginable, really. It's just so good. Oh, there we go. Getting into the third steep. So we're getting sort of the really nice flavors coming through. Ouch. So you can see I have not been using my fingers on the Gaiwan enough. Usually if I get a little boiling water on the edges of my fingers, it's no big deal, but now I'm probably going to get a blister or something. It's like the guys, the line cooks, you know, they have no feeling on their fingers anymore. I'm not using my Gaiwan enough. When I'm drinking tea, it's just like whatever's laying out there, you know, throwing it in a cup, adding hot water to it, and gulping it back as I'm packing tea for all the wonderful people that have supported us this week. But I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to packing up some oolongs. I'm sick and tired of white teas, these really delicate teas. And then the 2 weeks before that was all of the teapots. And so I've had all of these really delicate teas that I've been having to pack for the past month, and the teapots, you know. So like, say for example, you order, you know, like 50 grams is about this big, right, of the snow mist. So 50 grams is this much. And so if I put it in a box, I've got to support it. So I got to cut out other cardboard and slop it in and go like this and make sure it's not going to collapse. And I mean, I'm not complaining. Well, I guess I am sort of complaining. I'm just saying I'm looking forward to having shared the white tea and now moving to oolongs, which are much easier to pack. And we got more of this Sancha green in as well. And so my beautiful and ever suffering wife spent like 6 hours yesterday packing green tea. Green tea is not as bad as the oolong, but it's still not so good. But if you're a fan of, if you're a fan of the Sancha green, it's back in stock. and it's the first one was like springtime, like real spring. The second was picked in sort of the first batch. The second batch was picked in like mid-April, something like that, or late April. And so it's much more like you would imagine a day like today. Breezy, more, not so much sort of the green, not so much the sweet peas, but more floral. Anyways, it's nice. It's just beautiful. But that's another one where they try to make green tea in the wintertime. It doesn't work. Green tea in the summertime tastes awful, but they can create the most amazing teas when the time is right because they just pick it and do it. Very, very, very similar to this tea. Very, very similar to this tea. And one of the reasons why my finger is red now is because, of course, this is not a high quality Gaiwan. This is quite a low quality Gaiwan. But we're getting to the point now where I think I might have to, hire people. So when I hire people, if I ever decide to hire people, I'll probably do it in the fall, expand, hire people, and or a person, I should say. And when that happens, I'll invest in some really good tea wear and stuff like that because I'll go and it won't be on my back porch. I'll go someplace else. So I'll probably still do live streams here because it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Would you consider featuring your wife in a live? I would love to hear her thoughts on tea as well. I will try and put this in the nicest way I possibly can, but it's going to sound really horrible. The internet is a dark and awful place in general. And even if you're in a place like this, which is just wonderful, amazing, spectacular tea people, what you put on in the digital world is there forever. And I'm very conscious of that. And so obviously I don't put my children and I don't put my family. I don't even think I put my cat online. And I find people that do that, like to sell things, especially when they use their children as anyways, I won't say what I think in this public space. So when it comes to my wife, I try and because I am, this my poor children have to figure out how to describe what I do for a living, and they're it's hard for them. But I tell them, just tell I'm an influencer, which I find absurd. But the point is, I have to be really careful because I have a public face. I have to be really, really careful. You can attack me. I don't care. Like people attack me sometimes, and I don't care. I'm just like I've lived this life before. I've been on TV. I've been in the public sphere, so I know what happens. And but my family hasn't, and so I don't want to put them in that context. Someday when I get when I get a place to like people come and visit and then we can drink tea, definitely will, my family is my family. It'll be around. But until then, I have a really tough time putting my family sort of in the spotlight type of thing. I have no personal social media. They have no personal social media. I mean, obviously my wife does, but she's a consumer, not a producer. And my children, obviously, they don't. And so I'm very, very conscious of that, especially like, anyways, I won't go into all the details, but I saw what was going to happen with deepfakes a long, 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 long time ago. And I just think that the fewer things you can put out there, the better. And so that's why. But it's a good question. I've had people ask me before, and that's sort of why I don't. I also don't do sort of. I want to stay as I was talking about this in the Discord the other day. I want to stay as quiet and small and boring a tea guy as I can possibly get. I do not want controversy. I do not want the attacks and all the different things that come with being sort of more out there. I did that when I first started. You have to do it when you first start so that people avoid you, right? The bully thing. But I want to stay as far away from controversial as I possibly can. And social media is a tool and a very, very powerful tool. Anyways, I went too far for that. But anyways, what other high mounts and late spring teas will be coming soon? Chilai will be coming. Shanlin Shi is a tough one this year. Shanlin Shi is a tough one this year because where I usually get my Shanlin Shi, they've gotten quite big and famous, and so the quality of, and so I'm gonna put Shanlin Shi on hold for a while until I can go and visit and meet some new people in Shanlin Shi. And so I don't know when I will be getting Shanlin Shi tea. The Old Master Dong Ding, I've already got it. It's aging, right? It's aging right now. Actually, I've got to put it on the top floor so it ages fast in the hot air and the hot weather. And so I've got to do that. And I'm trying to think what else is going on. Well, remind me, what's your favorite, right? So the question is, what other high mountain late spring teas will be coming soon? Chilai is in the mail, right? So the Chilai, the samples are in the mail. And I talked about it earlier, but I feel bad. I mean, I feel bad because I wanted so much to go around and travel around this spring and visit places and help with processing and do all of that. But it's been an extremely busy spring. And I didn't realize that the sales would jump up as much. There's the tariff thing. There's the tariff thing. There's other things going on. Just Mountain Stream Teas is getting bigger and bigger, and so all these things are happening. Things are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and so I've been caught off guard, and so I haven't been able to go to these places. Like usually, I've been to Pingling, right, to get the Baozong like 2 or 3 times by now, but I can't. I literally can't. It's just like, it's like, I've got a lull in orders this week. I can go. Well, that hasn't happened, and wait, knock on wood that it doesn't happen. Knock on wood. Anyways, no complaints. But things like that. But name me a tea and let me know. Gardenia. Gardenia is, don't worry about the Gardenia. I've got that already. I've got the Gardenia. I've got it booked. So it's the Gardenia Ooolong will be booked right now. The Ooolong was already picked in the spring. Right now we're just waiting on the flowers. They usually make it in mid June. And what I really should do is go and now I grew up in Southern Ontario, and in Southern Ontario you do have flowers, but you do not have anything even remotely close to baskets upon baskets upon baskets of gardenia flowers sitting in a 28-degree large ceilinged factory in a tropical country. Right? So like that's, as a sensory experience, is something that I didn't even know was possible growing up where I grew up. Right? It's just amazing. So I really should go back I haven't gone back for a couple of years, but I should go back when they're making that tea. I really should go back and have that sensory experience again, because it really is. It's like, it's so hard to describe. Imagine just bushels of freshly picked gardenia. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. They're still, they're still sort of moist from the dew in the morning, and the smell. It's just insane. is just insane, and it's so hard to like you can't describe it. And so I'll try this year to go and do that. Uh, quit buying tea so Matt can travel already. Well, no, I'm just hoping that if you buy more oolongs, it's I might have more time just to work it out. But all the people buying white tea, thank you for buying white tea. You're going to enjoy it. It's beautiful white tea this year, but it takes a while to pack the white tea up. Definitely takes a while to pack the white tea up. But I really do. I really should get out there and do some more pingling, Taoyuan. Those are not hard areas to go. I really should go, and I won't be really able to help out too much with the processing because most of the processing's done. But I should be going to those areas. There's no excuse. Well, there's excuses, but not that many excuses. But I am starting to think, what if Mountain Stream Teas has a warehousey thing where people can be hired to go and pack and get the tea ready and send it out? What would that do to my life and the life of my family? How would that work with everything? And so I'm starting to think about that. Maybe in the fall, we'll see how it goes. When all the tariff stuff dies down, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll still do it, maybe not. But any other questions about teas or oolongs or anything like that? Any other requests for teas that you want to get back in? I've had lots of questions about sort of the darker oolongs, the red oolongs and things. I think today I'll get the Luye Red samples. Oh, yeah, right. Luye Red. Luye, oh, well, I did that here. Okay, Luye Red. There we go. Luye Red. And I forgot. There we go. There's the fireworks on the YouTube. I was going to turn that off, but now, why bother? I got to turn that back on. Are you much happier living in Hualien compared to Canada? Well, I mean, what are you doing? Are you just poking me for rants today? I mean, this is, you just you just want you just want you want me to get controversial. You just want me to get controversial. Obviously, yes, right? If I didn't, then I'd move back. I could talk about why. The best way to answer that question simply would be the things that have made it harder and harder for young people to live in Canada. And all you have to do is type in, why is it hard for people to live in Canada? I saw that 20 years ago and I tried to talk about it. I tried to say, listen, this is what's going on. Communism has never worked. We should probably not do that. And and I didn't have a good time in university or otherwise for asking questions. And so I left. And now I can live in a place where you don't need a license to start a tea company. Let's put it that way. And you don't need a license to start a tea company in Canada? Really? Good luck with that. Go for it. And so I am much happier here, much freer. The people here are much nicer. And anyways, so that's enough. I grew up in New York City and love traveling to Asia. Yes. Well, Asia is very big. And one of the things about Asia is you have to be open, right? So if you travel to Asia, you have to be very, very open and you can find whatever you want. And there's terrible parts of Asia. But there are also places in Asia where if you go and adapt to the culture and respect the culture and love the culture like I do here in Taiwan, you can carve yourself out a space that's wonderful. That's really, really quite amazing. And like the property taxes for my house this year were US dollars, less than 10 US dollars for the property taxes for my house. Anyways. Loving the clean tea. Well, thank you very much. It's hard living here and cost of living is crazy. Yes. Yeah. Right. And I could see that coming. Again, I could see that coming 20 years ago. And it was like, no. Remember, I used to say, there's one day you're going to wake up and you're not even going to be able to afford your coffee. When you get on the subway to go to work in the morning, you're not going to be able to afford your coffee. And people would be like, no. Yeah, well. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it. I am quite happy here, enjoying my time on my back balcony. I mean, I'm sweating a little, obviously, but thankfully I can afford air conditioning in the room where I pack tea. So we're good. Would I recommend moving to Asia right now? No, I probably would not. I would recommend, if you're in sort of a Western country, moving to a rural area and bunkering down for the next couple of years. But I sure hope everybody out there has. Anyways, whatever. We don't need to talk about it. I'll just get in trouble if I talk about it for various obvious reasons. And yeah, I'm going to be going back to Canada in the summertime for July. So last thing I'll talk about, I'm going to go back to Canada in July. And from July 7th to July 11th, my children will be in camp. And so I will have like a week of being able to do things in Southern Ontario. And I'm thinking of going to like Toronto, I grew up right next to High Park in Toronto, going to High Park and like putting out a sign that says free tea and just sort of giving out tea and seeing and talking to people. I'll probably do it. I'll be in Guelph for sort of the start of July as well. And so I think I should try and do that. And sort of talk to people more and see how people are going. Because obviously I don't know really what is quite going on in Canada, because you cannot trust anything in the media, right? You cannot trust anything in the media for absolute truth. And by media, I just mean anything that comes out of your Black Mirror. And so I'd like to. I'm looking forward to going and putting out a sign and saying just drink tea. I think that would be a lot of fun. But I think I'll do that. And if that happens, I'll try and put things out. So if anybody is in any of those places, we can go and chat. Because I was going to do that last year, and there was a really, really nice person who got in touch with me. Actually, a couple who got in touch with me and said, "Oh, let's figure out a way to do it." And then life caught up, and I just wasn't able to do it last year, unfortunately. But there's no excuses this time. Last year was my first time back in Canada since the tyranny, and so I could actually go back, take my family back, and so this year is less. This year is less. Anyway, so I'll have more time. I will have more time. I would love to experience the Just Drink Tea Black Mirror episode. Oh, can you imagine? Let's come up with some ideas. I mean, the obvious one would be like I'm talking to my phone and my computer, but there's actually no real people out there, and that there is just like an AI that buys my tea and I send my tea all over the world, but it just goes into a black hole. And that that's the easiest one, right? That's the easiest Black Mirror episode. That's again why I want to. I would like to meet some people in person, right? I'm literally, there's a guy who's this land behind me is not. It's like my neighbor, and every once in a while I'll be doing this, talking to my phone and my computer, and somebody walking behind going to. Like, do you exist? I don't know. So talking to people in real life would be good. What's another? Amen, Asconia. I'm still not a bot. How do I know? right? Can you do a captcha while I watch? And even then, who knows about the captchas, right? But what would be a good tea drinking, Black Mirror episode? Well, I mean that's the obvious one, right? And then and then and then it pulls back, and then there's people all in their back balconies, as far as the eye can see, talking to their phones and selling something, right? I mean that's an obvious one. If anybody wants to do that one, go for it, right? That's like one person selling clothes, one person selling cabbages, one person, and all the everything is fake, and all that just pulls back with the drone shot, right? That was an easy one to do. What would be another tea drinking Black Mirror episode? I don't know. That's I can't think of anything more than that at the moment. But I am wildly appreciative for the real people. I assume they're real people who buy the tea and drink the tea and enjoy it. But I am melting, and thankfully, I am not a villain in a early 20th century movie, so I'll survive it, and it'll be okay. And it's worth it to drink this beautiful oolong, but I probably should wrap it up. Recap. I have been very busy this week packing tea. Wonderfully thankful for that. But if you're ordering tea right now, I apologize. It's not going to be sent out until Monday. I'm taking the afternoon off, and the weekend, hopefully I can get into the river with my boys out there. This on YouTube, this river valley. So this river valley right here, there's a beautiful river that comes down. One of my sons is named after this river. We actually call it the River. And so we go there to go swimming in the river. The Alishan teas are coming in. I'm waiting on the Baozong teas from Pingling, sort of those types of teas. So those teas are coming. They'll be coming soon, and I'll be really looking forward to those teas. I do have the Mayor's Alishan, and I really should do something to it. But it is like, usually I roast it, but it's so beautiful this year. It's just so beautiful. Next live stream, I'll drink some of that. 1 million mats talking to their phone. Yes. Well, that was that's the drone shot from the Black Mirror episode, right? And look up dead internet theory. Look up that dead internet theory, or don't look it up. And so those teas will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, which will be easier to pack. And thankfully, the Baozong maybe not so much, but most of them will be easier to pack. And yeah. Last call for questions. Anybody got any questions out there for any of that stuff? I get to rest. For the weekend. 14 to 16-hour days every day is anyways, in the fall, hopefully we can expand the Mountain Stream Teas family a little bit, if it still lasts, if everything goes according to plan. All right. So thank you everybody out there for supporting us wherever in the world you happen to be. I certainly hope you have an amazing morning, evening, night. Sleep well. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next live stream.